Hello. Welcome back to Tuesday, where we talk about money and pricing and packaging, creating your own income pie, doing life and business on your terms, etc. So today I want to talk about everyday sales. And this is something that my clients want help with and are intrigued by, because the way that many of my clients come to me, they have a different set of requirements in terms of their life and their business. So, for example, just to say they want to earn a certain amount every single year, it's not enough. We have to look at how they're going to do that. Is that method conducive to what's happening with their life, for example? So I know in my house, this is a very basic example, but I do the school run every single Monday to Friday in the morning. So I have to set my business up so my business starts after 9:15, because otherwise it's going to be all kinds of trickiness. So I want to talk about everyday sales because we have that opportunity to make that happen. If you run your own business, if you are a personal brand, if you create your own income from your own skills, you have the opportunity to welcome everyday sales. Now, there's a lot of conversation as to whether you should work in a launch mode situation or on an evergreen model, or if you should have different levels or a different income pie or different roles. Now, we can look at that together. Equally, I do this and create your income pie. So there are various ways that you can access that. But first and foremost, and I've got 5 points for you today, so if you want to make some notes, you absolutely can. When we think about everyday sales, I want you to think about the beauty and the possibility of that. And in this climate, in this culture, in this conversation at the moment, there is a lot of conversation around money and restriction and how expensive things are and will I ever work again? And the conversation around money is quite negative at the moment. However, I want to flip that around and not ignore it completely, because this is a very real thing that is happening. But alongside that, I want to say that an internet connection will offer so many opportunities and allow you to be able to create income. And there is a way to do this in a way that feels really good and doable, and that your audience, your client, your customer will love. So if already you are saying to yourself, when I'm talking about everyday sales, I don't know if I could do that, I want you to flip into the beauty and the possibility of like, all right, so let's play with this for a moment and be in the beauty and the possibility of being able to make everyday sales. How would that feel? How would it feel if I looked at my bank account and was like, oh my gosh, look, for the last 31 days, a sale has come into my business every single day? How would that change things? How would that settle your nervous system? How would that create ease and flow into the decisions that you were making? I want you to be in the possibility of that, and then we can build the strategy to make that happen. Number 2, I want you to take some time today to look at what it is you're actually offering. And you might be like, well, I know what I'm offering. Like, I'm offering one-to-one sessions. I'm also got this course. But I want you to revisit it, almost like taking an old item out of your wardrobe that you haven't worn for a while and saying to yourself, how could I wear it differently? How could this work? And almost taking it off the shelf and out of context. I want you to go back to your offerings and fall back in love with them like you are a QVC presenter. I want you to look at your offerings, why you created them, why you feel so passionate about them, why you have designed them in the way that you've designed them. And I want you to spend some time with them so you get to that point of going, oh my gosh, actually, this is really good and this can be really useful. So going back and looking at your old testimonials, for example, of saying, wow, I really helped that person. I remember where they were before and how I navigated that process with them. And now look what they're doing. I think so often it can, especially with something like selling, or if you're in a bit of a lull financially, it feels like you're sitting on a bank fishing, hoping that one fish might come into your net and this may happen. And actually, you've done lots of the work previously. There are things that you can lean on and scenarios, and we must do that. We're never starting from scratch. We're never beginning again. All of these things that you have done previously, nothing is wasted. So lean on all of that momentum that you've previously had. Number 3, why now? Why should a client work with you right now? Now, some of you might have that timer, you might be in launch mode, you might have a special offer on, and yes, there can be, I've got something in my eye. Sometimes there are financial gains to making a decision. But I want you to also think about the emotional moments of why this person should make a decision and what else is there to be gained. So if it was a personal trainer, for example, yes, they might have an influx of January the 1st where people go, right, this is the year where I'm going to get my health and fitness in place. But what about in February? What about in August? What is the incentive there? And this is really when your storytelling comes in, helping people to make a decision. Because I also want you to know that people make decisions every single day. Yes, we've all made those life-changing moments, or maybe we've had a January the 1st or September the 1st where they're like, right, blank page, this is the moment. But also through many conversations that I've had over the years, I've had conversations with friends and family where they've made a decision on a Tuesday morning and go, I just knew I had to leave him. I just knew that this was not going to be the person that I was going to marry. Or they've been in a work meeting and gone to themselves, I can't be here anymore. I need to leave. And they pick up their stuff and they leave and their business changes. Or somebody goes from not being pregnant to being pregnant in an afternoon. You know, these moments happen. And so really making the shift, the reason to do the thing, compelling and emotional and needle moving is really important. Because often if we give people a choice to delay the process, to do it next week or another time when it feels more comfortable, they will take that option. And so in order to allow that flow of everyday sales, you've got to know why now is a great time. Number 4, I want you to think about your client and your customer a year from now. Say they get what it is that you're doing. Say they do all of the work. They are an A+ student with you and they make the purchase, they do the work, they take action. Imagine where they can be a year from now. Now, this might be a new program or offering and service, and maybe you're just thinking, well, I don't know where they're going to be a year from now. And so if that is you, lean on my data. So I've been working with clients one-on-one since 2012 and doing one-on-one sessions before that, but officially as a coach since 2012. That is 12 years of data. And this has been so fascinating because it has allowed me to continue that conversation. So one of my first ever clients 12 years ago, I remember setting some really clear goals. Now, I'm not taking responsibility for all of this, by the way, but I'm just saying how powerful it is to have a plan and have a strategy and then do the thing. I regularly see this guy doing what he wanted to do, what he said he wanted to do 12 years ago. And that is incredible because I've now seen how that's changed his life, the trips that he's taken, the opportunity, what he's built, all of it. And so I want you to really have that belief in your product and your service and know the power of its life-changing abilities. And I think it's so easy to go, oh, I don't know. I mean, like, just buy the thing. What about if we had that story and that weight behind it of like, buy the thing? Because can you imagine? And sometimes you having that faith in your client and your customer is the faith that your client or your customer is looking for because they don't have it in themselves. So lean on the past experience, lean on what you know to be true and share it. Finally, I want you to move into ease and flow and the inevitability of this being a possibility of everyday sales. And so often we can get stuck in these narratives of yes, but nobody's buying. Who says nobody's buying? I only have to look out to my high street, which is just round the corner. And I know every single second, all around the world, people are making multiple millions of, there's money moving around the whole time. They're buying stuff that they need, but they're also buying stuff that they fancy, that they don't need, that isn't a priority. Or sometimes they have no intention of buying, but they know if they do, it will change their life. I want you to make it easy for people to buy from you right now. Do not overcomplicate this system. Sometimes I just want to buy the thing. When I look at the purchases that I'm making, quite often I will do this, especially if it's a big purchase, I will do it after the children have gone to bed, which means sometimes I am making purchases at 8:30. I don't want to speak to a customer person at that time unless I really need to. I want everything that I need, all of the information in order to buy the thing. I did it the other day. I purchased a course. I purchased it around that time. She is in LA and there's obviously a time difference, but imagine if I had wanted to do that at 6 a.m. my time, that would be late in the evening her time. And so she just wants that process to be smooth and easy. And ultimately, I want the thing. I want to be able to log in and get cracking without that conversation. So I want you to think about those things today and really build that mindset of everyday sales, but also know that you have a choice as to how you do this. And ultimately, whatever happens, you have to believe in your product and your service and the way that you work and the benefits before anybody else. I hope that's been useful. If you want to come and join me in Create Your Income Pie, I would absolutely love to have you. And I'll see you next time. If you like chats about money, that's what we're doing on a Tuesday. And I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.